Hey guys, Mark here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I used AI to find a winning product. I used AI to build an entire funnel, and I used AI even to make the ads completely from scratch and scale to over 10K a day, as you can see here. And just so we're clear, this is not going to be a video about how to use fucking ChatGPT 101, Claude 101. No, we're going to do some cool shit. We're not going to get into agentics quite yet. That's a video coming soon. But as long as you follow this process here, you can easily find a good product, build an amazing funnel, and write some really fucking good copy. So let's get to it. Now, the first step in the process here is, of course, to find the product. Now, shockingly, this is actually the easiest part of this entire process and probably the fastest part, because all you have to do is use one specific AI tool to go and do some research out on the interwebs for you and find the best product that meets my criteria. My criteria, of course, being you want to sell a product that is already proven to sell, right? I call these validated products. Ideally, a product that is already generating at least 300,000 visits per month via something like SimilarWeb. If we can prove that, we can guesstimate that they're probably doing around 8 to 10K per day, maybe more, maybe less. I don't really care. All I know is they're driving volume, and I only want to sell products that other people are already selling successfully. So because I want to make your job as easy as humanly possible, I put together a little something called the Mark Builds Brands AI Product Research Prompt. Now, you may be wondering, Mark, what could possibly be on this document? Well, it's actually a prompt. Use AI to do product research for you. I know it sounds crazy, but that is exactly what it's for. But the cool part is I loaded in all my specific criteria here. You can see, like, this isn't a super extensive prompt, right? All I have is my specific criteria. I show it where to look, what to find, and then give me a few specific pieces of information for each product that is found, all right? So you can adjust this to your liking, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy all of this. You're gonna go into trusty, dusty ChatGPT. You're gonna paste that right in, and then you're gonna go to tools and make sure that you hit run deep research and go ahead and hit enter. ChatGPT may ask you one or two clarifying questions to make sure that it properly conducts the research, but as you can tell here, I ran this prompt myself, and we got this amazing list of 5 winning D2C supplement products specifically. So one thing that I did in this particular prompt is I specified that I want it to be in the supplement market because selling supplements is fun. So that's exactly what I did, but you can change that based off the niche that you're selling in or want to sell in. And as you can see, we got this amazing list here of 5 winning D2C supplement products that are solving meaningful problems. So one of the prompts or things that I put in this prompt is I want it to be a product that is solving a painful problem in a emotional, hungry market, right? I believe that markets rule everything. You can go in with a shitty product, shitty funnel, shitty ads, and probably still print if the market is really that good. So I want to go after markets first. We got a few different examples here. Number one, we have the company called Seed doing over 500,000 visits per month. We have Bloom Nutrition also doing around 250,000 visits per month on SimilarWeb. We got Mudwater, obviously massive D2C brand here. We have O Positive, also massive, absolutely massive. I mean, 1.8 million plus visits. And specifically, we're looking at the Flow PMS gummies, but still a very massive brand. And then we also have front of the pack, basically a dog multivitamin supplement. So for example purposes, I'm going to go with the Flow PMS gummy vitamins because I think that there's some really cool copy and angles that you can tap into specifically for this market. So since it already did all the hard work for you, you can just click one of the links here and see the exact product that was already found for you. Now, obviously with supplements, there's a pretty high degree of differentiation that has to be done in order for you to sell this product. So the process is a little bit different, but the whole product research process, that process that I just took you through, it's really just to find a product that you can prove is selling. The rest of the work we'll get to, all right? But the whole purpose of product research is really just to find a product that you can prove with data is selling at a high scale. And I define a high scale at around 10K per day. So just like that, we got step number 1 done. Now we're gonna move on to step number 2. Step number 2 here is specifically going to be the process of creating the funnel. Now, I'm not going to go through and design a landing page in front of you because between me and you, I have people on my team that do that for me. But I will write all the copy right in front of you. But before we do that, the whole process of building a funnel is very, very heavy on copywriting, right? The most common mistake that I see people make when they come to, my YouTube lives or wherever is they say, Mark, I'm getting all this traffic, but I'm getting no sales. Yeah, that's because your funnel sucks dick. It's not converting anybody. Even the most perfect prime buyer that just whips out their credit card for fucking anything won't even buy it. That's how shitty it is. You got to step the fuck up. So anytime that you're writing copy, I have these documents that I call the foundational documents. Now, the foundational documents is a series of 4 documents that I put together here that is basically going to be, the foundation of every word of copy that you write, whether that's your ads, your landing pages, your advertorials, whatever. It's all being written based off of these foundational documents. So it's very important that you don't fuck them up. So let's go through and actually create these foundational documents based off a new brand that I'm saying I'm going to launch, which I'm not. But let's say I were to launch a competitor to the Flow product by O Positive. This is the exact document that you want to follow. And again, I have links to all these SOPs and everything in the description. Now, I hope you guys understand. I am quite literally spoon feeding you this information. So if you apply it and it doesn't work, I apply almost this identical process myself and I'm doing just fine myself. So what's the problem? Probably your dumbass. All right, so the four foundational documents is a research document, which this is going to be the longest document where you basically prompt ChatGPT to do deep research for you, specifically about your market. And then we have the avatar doc and the offer brief that builds the marketing material, things like the unique mechanism, the state of awareness, the level of sophistication, all of these like foundational marketing principles into 1 or 2 documents. And then the final is what I call the necessary beliefs document. So I believe that marketing at its core is simply a game of belief change work. So people are coming into your business with a specific set of beliefs, and it's your job to shift those beliefs into beliefs that align with buying your product. So all this shit is so fucking easy. I'm going to skip through this part and just, create these documents myself and move on. So I'm just going to create these foundational documents real quick as if I was like a copywriter for O Positive. This is how I would start out by doing it. All right, so we got our full deep research done by ChatGPT. Now, if I were you, I would go and actually read all of this. You don't have to read every word of copy that you write, but this is one document that I would really, really recommend you actually read it from top to bottom. I know it's a lot, but take some time and you give it a read because it'll help you write so much better copy because you'll know exactly what to look for. Anyways, we're not going to do that because we're lazy. Let's copy all of this here, copy it, and we're just going to paste it into its own document, which is now 20 pages long, and we're going to call this OP Research. Alrighty, so we got all 4 of our foundational documents created here, the research document, avatar sheet, offer brief, as well as the necessary beliefs document. So we are ready to finally write some fucking copy. And for that, we're going to head over to Claude.ai. Now, standard rule of thumb, for me personally at least, is when it comes to writing copy, Claude is king. I play around with this stuff all the time, guys. Like all day, every single day, I'm trying every new tool, every wrapper, every new LLM. Claude is consistently one of the best at creative forms of writing, which copywriting is a creative act. So I think that it's the best option for copywriting as of right now. Of course, you can build your own custom solutions. That would be the only thing that's maybe a little bit better, but Claude is fantastic if you're just starting out. However, what we're not going to do is just start typing prompts into Claude and expect to get amazing results. Instead, we're going to create a system where we can come in here and write, let's say, an advertorial in this case, over and over and over again without having to prompt it a million times. And so Claude has this thing called projects that is basically the Anthropic equivalent of a custom GPT. So this is a kind of custom database where you can give a particular custom LLM set of instructions and a set of resources and a knowledge base. So what we're going to do is go up and hit new project. You can name this whatever you want. Oh, misspelled it. God, that's embarrassing. All right, cool. Now let's move on to the next one. Now what we're going to do is going to go into set project instructions. And once again, I'll make sure that I put this somewhere in the description, but you're going to paste that right there and go ahead and hit save instructions. The only thing you need to edit here is the actual names of your files. So I named all mine exactly like this. So just go through and adjust the names if need be. And then the other thing we're going to do, go up to the right-hand corner of project knowledge, and you're going to hit this little plus button and then hit upload from device. And what I'm going to do here to begin is I'm going to upload those 4 foundational documents, right? The research, necessary beliefs, offer brief, and avatar sheet. As you can see, those are all loaded in there. Beautiful. I love it. Now, the only other thing I'm going to load in here is just a metric shitload of swipes, specifically swipes around advertorials, because this project that I created here is an advertorial writing custom Claude project. Wow, that was a mouthful, but that's essentially what it is, right? It's very specific to advertorials, not to ad copy, not to anything else. For now, it's just going to be an advertorial writing machine. All right, so let me go ahead and load in those swipes. Now, since we already loaded so much knowledge and so much background research into this Claude project, the prompting is super duper simple. I can talk to it just like it's a standard human being, almost like an employee, and just say, hey, I want you to write, a few different outlines for advertorials. So in this case, all I said is, please come up with a list of 5 different advertorial outlines for my brand Flow that sells gummies to help women with PMS. And once again, super basic prompting, right? Like that's because we already did all the hard work of creating the project in the first place. As you can see now, it's searching through our project database, our knowledge base, to identify the best potential angles that would resonate with the research that we did. Now, if I wanted to take this a step further, what I would do is I would actually go and start spying on O Positive or Flow in this case, and go look at their top ads. A lot of times you'll see that their top ads have one specific thing in common, specifically one angle. Once you identify the angle, I'll come back here and say, please come up with a list of 5 different advertorial outlines specifically around the angle of XYZ. That's what I would say, because that's going to give you the best chance of success when it comes to writing this new advertorial, because Claude is going to write a great advertorial here regardless. Now, whether it resonates with the market in the specific angle that's already proven to convert and is destroying for this other company, that's up to you. So you have to go and analyze this brand and understand why are they actually successful, and then take that knowledge into AI, because AI is a tool. It's not going to replace you, at least not yet. It will in the future, and it'll be a lot better than you, because you suck. So the first prompt that I sent here, once again, so freaking simple, right? But I said, can you come up with a list of 5 different headlines, each for a new advertorial? Now, what I'm going to do is identify the top performing or the top headline that I like the most, have it write an outline surrounding that particular headline, and then have it write the entire advertorial start to finish, right? So let's go through these examples here. Number 1, Harvard's women's health researcher exposes the real reason 75% of women suffer from PMS, and an ancient solution Big Pharma hopes you never find. I actually like that one quite a bit. That one's going to be pretty hard to beat. Number 2, my PMS rage ended my engagement until I discovered this 500-year-old European secret. Okay, it's okay. Why high-achieving women are secretly using this hormonal thermostat. Oh, wow, I love that. I love that unique mechanism to stop PMS from sabotaging their success. TikTok's viral PMS hack that's making gynecologists furious. This one is pretty good too, actually. Man, I've created a monster. Speaking of monsters, the PMS monster finally has a match. Meet the 4-ingredient formula that's giving women their lives back. So this one is obviously going to be a much more product-aware advertorial compared to something else. I personally like going like the really high TAM, high emotional, channel all that emotion into the product instead of starting with the product in the actual headline. So for that reason, let's go ahead and rock with number 1, right? So let's prompt Claude again. So for this prompt, once again, do not overthink it. You did the hard work already with building the project. All I said was go ahead and write a full outline for an advertorial with this headline. I just chose the one that I like the most. So now we have an outline. I like doing the outlines before actually writing the entire thing start to finish, because if there's something you don't like about the structure, then you can fix it there instead of having to, rewrite the whole thing again and again and again. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the outline. I'm just going to tell it to write the full advertorial. Let's see what it does. All righty, so we got the full advertorial done here. Now, is this ready to run 100% without any editing whatsoever, without any chiefing at all? No, of course not. God damn it. Don't you learn anything from watching my channel? You got to go through and chief this copy. And if you guys want a full video on that, you can let me know. By the way, I decided to do something really special for the people that are still watching up until this point. I put together a video that shows you how to take this text, like let's say this advertorial is perfect, good to go, and actually turn it into a live landing page using 100% AI. You don't have to know anything about coding or building landing pages or using any Shopify apps. We'll build everything completely from scratch, and it looks good and it works. If you want that video, go DM me the word secret sauce on IG and I'll send it to you, but keep it between you and me, all right? Alrighty, now at that point, we have the product. We have now created the funnel. Now we only created one step in the funnel, but you're just gonna rinse and repeat that exact same process for the sales page, for the order page, for any other pages or any other copy, honestly, that you write. The only step that we have left now is of course the ads. And ironically, this is the most important piece of all. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start testing my ads with static ads, with image ads, because it's a very cost-efficient, lean way to test. You oftentimes reduce your CPMs when you're testing with statics compared to videos, and you can identify the winning angle faster than you can with something like a VSL, right? So what I use to create my image ads is Sora run through ChatGPT. So what we're actually gonna do first is I'm gonna load in all my foundational documents. Now to begin, all we're gonna do is send over all of our foundational documents, just say, hey, analyze these and let me know your thoughts. This is literally just to give this particular ChatGPT window context around our particular offer, around our research, around the psychological triggers that are associated with our market. Now for the next step, I want to find a successful ad, specifically a successful image ad that I can model for my own brand, because you never want to reinvent the wheel. You want to take your research and associate that with a proven image ad format that is working for other brands. So the perfect way to do that is to go to trusty dusty gethooked.ai, link in the description. And what you can do here is, my whole purpose is really to find a winning image ad for another brand and then recreate it based off my brand. So what we're going to do over on the left-hand side, go to performance, select 4 and 5 stars, go to add format, select image, and then under static ad style, you can use just about any one of these specific static ad styles, or you can just go without any direction whatsoever. Let's just say you wanted to run before and afters. I don't recommend before and afters. Great way to get your ad account banned, but obviously some people are using it successfully, right? So with that said, let's find a good example that we want to model. Keep in mind that the product I'm selling here, this low product, is specifically for women struggling with PMS. So I need something that is very clear that it has to do with PMS specifically. So let's say I really love this particular static ad here and I wanted to test it for my own brand instead. So what we're going to do is going to click here right where it says download media. It's going to download that particular image. Let's go back into our ChatGPT window and upload that image. Now, what I did here in the prompting is I basically wanted to draw out of this image all of the text and then have ChatGPT rewrite what the text should be along with a prompt for how to create the entire image, right? So you can copy this prompt if you want, pause the video and do it. All that I have now is a prompt that looks a little something like this. And I'm going to upload the example once again as a, kind of a swipe. Go to tools, hit create an image. And now we're going to go ahead and hit enter and see what the hell happens. Now, while that particular image is loading, what I like to do as well, I can't load up my account right now or else I'd expose all my product images, but I highly recommend going to sora.chatgpt.com and you can actually get multiple images created at once. I go 4 images at one time, so you can see specific variations all the time. You can still make those adjustments. For now, we're just rocking with a basic ChatGPT window, but Sora you can kind of iterate a lot faster because it's just creating more generations. Little fun fact, while this image ad is being created, this new model from ChatGPT for image generation is the first model to ever create images pixel by pixel. That's why it's so freaking good. And even the text is not messed up. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Nope, the text looks perfect. But yeah, it's the first model that really does that. So let's take a look. This is our creative that we have right now. And if you really didn't know that this was created with AI, you would think that this was probably some professional graphic designer, but we just modeled the exact winning version that we had over here. It took the specific color palette. It took the specific copy that I had it right. The only thing that's not perfect, I think, I haven't actually checked, is going to be obviously the style of the branding on the package, but that's a very simple fix. I'll just download this, send it right back to ChatGPT, and then reprompt it with specifically a mock-up of the product and nothing else, and it'll replace it with 0 issues whatsoever. But as you can see, like 0 issues with the text. Every once in a while, there's issues with text. It's a very simple fix. You just have to reprompt it. And another little tip for image generation, if you have a window that's like super duper long, you're only going to get worse and worse responses, right? You have to understand the context window associated with LLMs. For ChatGPT 4o, I believe the context window is like 128,000 or 200,000. I can't remember exactly. It's around that range. And so the longer that the window goes, it doesn't mean you're going to get better and better responses. Usually it means you're going to get worse and worse responses because you've already surpassed the context window and it can't take context of everything from A to Z, right? But look, just like that, we got the product, we got the funnel, and we got the ads. And guys, I'm telling you, this is basically the exact process that I use to scale. I mean, we just scaled a new brand from 0 to 10K a day using this exact process. And so if you're one of those people that's like not taking AI seriously, I didn't even get into agentics. This is still like level 1 shit. This is just using specific LLMs for specific purposes and being not a total retard about it. But if you actually understand agentics and you start to automate this process with AI agents, then shit starts to get really, really interesting. And if you like all this AI stuff and applying it to e-commerce specifically, I do have a mentorship program that I own with my partner, Alex. And if you want to be a part of it and you want to learn from me a little bit closer, you can click the first link in the description and fill out an application for that. The reason we have an application and we don't just like have, a course link or something is because we really care about the people that are coming in the program. We have your best interest in mind. And if you're serious, we'll be serious too. But we don't allow everybody in for that reason. So if you are serious and you have some capital set aside, because obviously it's not free, you can click the first link in the description, fill out an application, see if you're a good fit. Other than that, y'all, be legendary, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.